Good morning and welcome to Hashtag Rise and Grind. I am your host, Glenn Lundy. I am a husband to one, a father to six, and the general manager of Dan Cummins Chevrolet Buick in Paris, Kentucky, the second largest used car franchise dealer in the United States of America. It is 5:30 a.m. and I hope that you are ready to rise and grind.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is Monday, March 5th, and welcome to the Rise and Grind. I hope you had a phenomenal weekend. I had an over-the-top, incredible, absolutely fantastic weekend. I got to spend so much time with my kids. Got to have a date night with my wife. It was unreal. But before we get into all of that, and wait, actually, on top of all of that, the dealership that I work at, the dealership that I get the privilege of being the general manager of, sold 157 cars in the first 3 days of March. 157 cars. They sold 87 cars on Saturday. And we're going to go into some life lessons that we can learn from this group of incredible people. But before we do that, I do want to say good morning to my man, Tom Sizemore. I want to say good morning, Steve Wetmore. What's up? Good morning, Ryan Smith and Melvin Rodriguez. Good morning, Carrie Osborne, Josh Marks, and Dave Clayton. Good morning, Dolly Mitchell. Hope you had a great weekend. Good morning, Eric Mitchell. What's up? Robbie Toomey. Hope you're enjoying your vacation, my man, out there, I believe, in the Dominican Republic, but yet he's still rising and grinding. Good morning, Mark Littleton and Leon O'Brien, Aaron Jones and Melissa Lockard. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody feeling today? How are you guys all feeling today? There's all kinds of people up in here. I love it. I missed you guys this weekend. I did. I missed you this weekend. Now, let me tell you guys a little story in case you don't know. I'm going to share a little story, and there's a couple things that we're going to learn today together. Okay, we're going to learn a couple different things. And so if you could, go ahead and share the feed. Let's get as many people in here as possible so we can all learn together. And we'll get this thing rolling. I'm still seeing all kinds of comments. My goodness. Ryan Smith's in the house. Steve Wetmore's in the house. Kobe Fryer's in the house. Sean Hayes. Everybody say happy birthday to my man Sean Hayes. Sean Hayes had a birthday this weekend. And my goodness, he got an outpouring of support from everybody out there in the auto industry that loves them some Sean Hayes. People were making videos and screaming happy birthdays and shouting out. And I mean, golly, I was like, this dude, Sean Hayes. Nice. Darian Sanders says, what's up, sexy? Leon and Brian says, a motivational Monday. It is a motivational Monday, guys. It is a motivational Monday. Monday, March 5th. My man Scott Simons just popped in here. What's up, Scott? It is March 5th. And, dude, seriously, man, I am overwhelmed. I am floored. I am a little bit sidetracked. I am a little bit off kilter today because my team sold 87 cars on Saturday. They sold 87 cars in one day. Okay, we've sold 157 cars for the month in the first 3 days. Now, we are on a mission. We are on something that we're calling a March to 1,000. Our goal is to sell 1,000 cars in the month of March. Now, you've got to get a little bit of the backstory to understand this. And those of you that are not in the auto industry, trust me, I got plenty for you today, too. I got plenty for you today, so don't think this is just about selling cars, because it's not. It's actually about a triumphant underdog story. It's about a small, tiny decision that was made by a man a long time ago that is affecting and impacting lives across the nation today, and what we can learn from those. So in order for you to understand, I do have to give you a little history. I gotta back up just a little bit. Okay, I got to make sure that you guys all understand where we're coming from. Now, Dan Cummins, a Chevrolet and Buick in Paris, Kentucky. That's the dealership that I work at. Now, Paris, Kentucky, I never thought in a million years I'd end up in Paris, Kentucky. Okay, let's just start there. Okay, I actually grew up in a fairly small city. I grew up in Flagstaff, Arizona, where I had about 30,000 people when school wasn't in, and then there's a big university there, so there's about 50,000 people when school was in. So that was the small community that I grew up in, and I did not necessarily enjoy living in a small community. I can tell you that right now. I wanted to be a big city guy, and I ultimately ended up traveling around. I lived in 17 different states before I came across Lexington, Kentucky, which is a population of about 300,000 people. So I stayed in Lexington for a little while before I met my wife, and of course I'll follow my beautiful wife off the edge of a cliff. I'll follow her anywhere. So I followed her to Paris, Kentucky, which is a tiny little town with a population of about 9,600 people. Okay. Now, I never in a million years imagined I'd live in a town of 9,600 people. Especially being brown, okay? It's not always favorable to be in these smaller towns in Kentucky. Just saying. No, I've always been treated wonderfully here. I'm just kidding. But, so I move here, okay? I move to this small town. I start working at this dealership, and I find out that in 1956, okay, in 1956, over 60 years ago, a guy named Sam Cummins, he started this little tiny dealership in Paris, Kentucky, okay? Now, think about that. Okay, Paris is a tiny place now. It only got 9,600 people. It was even tinier back then. Okay, it was even smaller. But yet this guy, Sam Cummins, he makes this decision. He had some stuff with a partner. He was working with a partner on one dealership, and his partner ended up taking that one, and he ended up taking the Chevy franchise, and he decides to open it up in Paris, Kentucky, of all places. He opens this tiny little dealership in Paris, Kentucky. And I just think back. I try to think back and try to put myself in Sam's shoes, man. I try to think back, and I wonder if Sam knew. I wonder if Sam knew that when he opened this dealership in this tiny little town, I wonder if he ever imagined that 65 years later, this dealership would still be in his family name. 65 years later, it would still be in his family name. His grandsons would be running it. They would have families of their own. They would be hiring a guy like me that came out of a little town in Flagstaff, Arizona, and that I would learn so much from this dealership, from his grandsons, that we'd end up jumping on and going into radio shows and creating groups and impacting and affecting over 10,000 people. Okay, we have close to 10,000 people in the group now. We selling 10,000 cars a year, and I even wonder, do you think he ever thought or imagined that we'd sell 87 cars in a day? 87 cars in a day. I'll probably say that a ton of times today because that's a huge deal. I wonder if Sam, as he was putting his pants on one leg at a time, if he knew that the decisions that he makes were going to alter the course of history. I wonder if as he was buttoning up his tie, right? As he was buttoning up his tie, he was buttoning up his dress shirt. He made this decision that he was going to go and he was going to grind it out, and he was going to establish his dealership in this tiny little town. I wonder if he was thinking, man, I'm creating a legacy. I'm creating a legacy for my kids. I'm creating something that's going to change this community forever. Because you guys have to understand at the volume that we're at now, at the size of the dealership that we are at now, it is affecting the entire economy. It is affecting the entire community here in Paris, Kentucky. Okay, we've got thousands of people that are coming in. These people are spending money at our gas stations. They're spending money at the restaurants. Our staff of over 270 employees, there's a Rite Aid next to our dealership. That Rite Aid is the number one selling Rite Aid of Monster Energy drinks in the country. Number one seller of Monster Energy drinks in the country because of our 270 employees. So these decisions that Sam made a long time ago, they've literally altered the course of history. All because he decided to take a chance. He decided to take a leap. He decided to do something even though people told him, hey, you probably shouldn't do that, man. He had all the naysayers and all the haters as humanly possible. Like, dude, it's a tiny little town. Dude, it's a tiny little population. You should never start a dealership there. What are you thinking? And you know what? He just pushed through. He said, no. This is what I'm going to do. This is my dream. This is my vision. This is my passion. He just took the leap, man. He didn't let anybody hold him back. He just went after it, and that's what I love. That's one of the things that we can learn from Sam Cummins, okay? This is what we're going to learn from a guy who established a dealership over 60 years ago that just sold 87 cars on Saturday. We just got to take action and go after it, guys. You just have to take action and go after it. If there is some passion, if there is some vision, if there is something going on in your heart, I just need you to jump on it. Take the action and go after it. I guarantee you that Sam did not know. He did not know that in 2018 he'd be selling 87. That dealership that he established would be selling 87 cars in a day. He did not know that his son was going to take over the dealership and run it and maintain it for a while. He did not know that his grandsons were going to take it over. He did not know that I was going to travel all the way across the United States so that I could end up being the GM for his dealership. He did not know that that was going to then spawn to selling 10,000 cars a year. He did not know that that was going to affect the entire economy of Bourbon County. He did not know that that would lead to a show called Rise and Grind, where we're encouraging and lifting others up. He didn't know any of that. All he knew is that he had a vision. He had some passion. He wanted to sell cars, man. He wanted to sell Chevys. And he was going to do it in Paris, Kentucky, no matter what anybody else told him. He just took action, and he went after it. And I love that. And I'm so thankful that he made that decision. Imagine if he would have made a different decision. Imagine how different the world would be. In our own lives, we constantly run into this, folks. We constantly run into, and they talked about this a lot at the Growth Con. They talked a lot about, I went to the Growth Con last week, and they talked a lot about this. See, we always have these ideas, right? We have these ideas, these things that we want to do, these visions that get put on our heart. We have these ideas. And then what we tend to do as human beings, what we tend to do is we tend to add time. Okay? We add time. We take an idea, then we start to break it down in our brain, and we start to say, okay, well, how can I do this, and when can I do this, and the timing needs to be right on this, and maybe if I do this first, and then if I do that, and then I take this action, and I put this in place, and what we do is we add time to the equation. And when we start to add time to the equation, guess what fills in that time? Doubt. Doubt starts to come in. When we have all this extra time, we start to doubt the original idea. Have you ever been gung-ho about something? Have you ever been so excited and on fire about something, and you were it just was your fuel, and you were passionate, and then all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but then time started to go by, and as you started to add time to the equation, you started to lose that fire, you started to lose that flame. Remember your first day on your new job, or the first time that you felt the Holy Spirit touch your soul? Do you remember that first day? That fire and how it burned? And then we add time, and it starts to burn out, man. Time is the killer of dreams. Time is the killer of ideas. Time is what keeps people from making a difference on this planet. So today, I challenge you. Today is Monday, March 5th, a brand new day, an exciting new day. So today I challenge you to not allow time. Do not allow time to keep you from chasing your dreams. Do not allow time to stand in the way of your visions. Instead, what I need you to do is I need you to put your pants on one leg at a time, just like Sam Cummins did in 1956. And I need you to go out there and I need you to say, today, I am going to make a difference in my legacy. I need you to say, today, I am going to go out there and do something that is going to affect an entire community. Today, I am going to do something that is going to change and alter the entire course of human history as we know it. I'm going to do it today, right now, Monday, March 5th, 2018, because who knows, 50 years from now, who knows, 60 years from now, there might be some guy that walks in to my place, to my vision, to my dream, that walks in and it completely changes his life, and then he goes out there and affects the world. That's the decision I want you to make today. Eradicate time from the equation. So you have to understand something, ladies and gentlemen. You have to understand that you are a uniquely made human being. You were made in the image of God. by the Creator himself. He took time to create you uniquely and specifically to be you. And now you are a part of a group of people. You are an elite human being, you see. You've become a part of this group, and you are elite in the sense that you choose. It's a choice. You choose to rise and grind. The actions that you are taking today, the energy that you are putting out there today is contagious. It affects everyone around you. It affects your family members. It affects your co-workers. Your positivity is leaving the impact on this planet, and I, for one, absolutely love you for it. And there's a God in heaven who loves you for it. So I need you to go out there today. I need you to go out there today and start to create that legacy. Go out there today and just go get it. Just go get it. I'm going to get off of here. I got to go to the gym. Listen, if you haven't got your Rise and Grind gear yet, go to GlennLundy.com. Get your Rise and Grind gear. Do it today. Represent this elite group that you are a part of. If you need more videos, need more inspiration, you need more motivation, anything like that, go to youtube.com/inthebeginninginspiration. There's tons of stuff up there. There's over 100 videos up there that you guys can watch, that you guys can share, that you guys can use to fuel that fire, okay? Now, I'm excited because we're going to get in the dealership today, and we're just going to keep on going. We're going to step on the gas. 157 cars in 3 days is just the start. It's just the start. We have an opportunity. We have an opportunity this month to do something we've never done before. We have an opportunity to sell 1,000 cars, man. 1,000 cars in 27 business days. So I'm jacked up. I can't get to work. I'm going to go work out. I'm going to go get to work. Make sure you guys share the videos. Make sure you get your gear. Make sure you go to youtube.com/inthebeginninginspiration if you need some more. And make sure, most importantly, you join me tomorrow morning right here at 5:30 as we will continue to rise and grind.